who's a better player? I mean, it's not even close. John Gibson versus Tyrann Mathieu is a joke. You know what I'm saying? That's like Drew Brees versus like Christian Ponder.
Man, we could talk about what this team should do. I think at the very best, this team, sneaks into the playoffs in a very weak East, and they get trounced in the first round.
Do you see more than one playoff team making out the East though?
That's
I mean, you think they're going to be? That's what I mean. It's only one.
They would have to win
the division.
They would have to win a division.
Do you think Philly's set up better than them?
I don't know. They need to do something with that secondary.
I like what I saw from Miles Sanders, Boston Scott down the stretch. I still believe in Wentz.
They don't even believe in Sanders. They're talking about bringing another running back.
That's crazy. I like.
They have no receivers.
I don't know
they
what
have
it is.
No receivers and no corners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to They need to get Alshon Jeffrey far away.
I mean,
I'm just saying they need to go get a drafted receiver. Go find.
Arcega-Whiteside was a little bit of a bust. Maybe he can bring something in year two,
maybe.
But they tried to get him on the field. He could do nothing for that team.
You know what's true? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me delete that last statement. Don't draft a receiver. They need to draft a corner or a safety. They need to get a playmaker in that secondary. You're right about that because there's not many. Once you get past the top 2 or 3 corners, it falls off.
That's a team that needs a receiver that can stretch the field to get things open for those tight ends because that's the crux of their offense. But if you don't have a guy that can stretch the field, those guys can't get open as well, and you can put corners and you can do other things to take those guys away. But when you have the safety has to trail a guy, running a 4-3, 4-4, a guy like a Jalen Reagor, a guy like Henry Ruggs, if they can get up high enough.
Well, let me ask you this though:
they need a burner to open up the field.
Does that bring into question? Okay, like we hear about trades a lot. We talk about Brandon Cooks, a former Saint. Brandon Cooks had the concussions, had a terrible year last year, had some injuries, really kind of became the third option over the Rams. Had a great year. Great start as the Rams, great after, having success with England and with New Orleans here. But Brandon Cooks is a guy that's being thrown around. They're trying to get rid of Gurley like yesterday. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to take Todd Gurley. But Brandon Cooks, great character guy. If the concussions thing check out, if those things check out fine, neurology or whatever, if we have a good report by a neurologist, this guy's a great player.
I don't know. You shit on Kelsey for years for his concussions.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm scared of Cooks all of a sudden with the concussions because it wasn't a problem until really this year. I mean, it's kind of, come to fruition this year with him, the concussion issues come to the surface. But Brandon Cooks to me is a hell of a receiver. Like we talked about it beforehand, Buffalo, why would you not look at a Brandon Cooks? You know what I'm saying? The Eagles, if they can fit it under the cap. I don't know where their cap is exactly.
The Eagles got if they can $45 million in cap space.
Go get Brandon Cooks with Carson Wentz.
Who's a free agent.
Carson Wentz is one of the best deep balls in the league. He just doesn't have anybody to throw it to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Would you see Brandon Cooks with Arcega-Whiteside? I hate saying that because I swore it was Arcega before. Arcega just don't even sound right.
He said.
I think he's fucking with people, dude.
He just wanted you to
I mean, he's like, hey, I'm making millions of dollars. I'm just gonna let y'all fuck my name up for a couple of years and laugh at y'all say Arcega. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't sound right. But Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, who could start on 25 teams right now. I like Miles Sanders and Boston Scott's combination. I think it works.
What if they can move?
I think their line's still really good. So like a receiver type thing, like or a different kind of like a hybrid kind of role.
With Zach Ertz for Brandon Cooks makes sense with some
additional. You're talking about moving? No, I think the Rams want to cut salary outright. They need to get their salaries fucked. They got remember they're married to Jalen Ramsey. They don't have a first round pick the next 2 years, I believe, because of that trade with Jacksonville. They got to pay Jalen Ramsey top dollar, and they're going to be really fighting against the cap at that point. So they can't make any improvements to that team. Littleton's a free agent, isn't he? I think Littleton's out there, if I'm not mistaken, on open market. Maybe I'm wrong there, but Corey Littleton, I think he's a free agent. The offensive line, Whitworth, is a free agent. He said he wants to return there. I mean, he's like 40. He's like our age. But he's declining, and he wants probably a little money to come back. Obviously, I don't think you're going to get him at league minimum. But they got some guys that are going to lose.
The problem with that team that really declined in 2019, from 2018, 2017, was the play of the offensive line. How did they punish that? That's what's going to get that team, back to where they were. I don't know if they can make it happen with the amount of salary cap. And
Rams got a shit ton of problems.
And the draft picks that they have at hand.
Let me ask you this, though. But quarterback, and the investment with golf, you're not the biggest golf fan. I know you've never been, really. That's what I'm saying. Teams are so scared. It's like the fucking coronavirus. Like you have your Purell. Go spend $100 on Purell if it's the last one on the shelf. That's how it is with quarterbacks. And I think that's the wrong approach. Like we talk about always, there's less bust quarterbacks. See, guys are playing in more pro-friendly systems in college. Scouts are a little bit more knowledgeable as far as what to look out for. You don't see as many Jamarcus Russells and Ryan Leafs anymore. Here's my thing. Why are we giving mediocre quarterbacks like Goff? And I don't think Matt Ryan's mediocre, but he's not elite. But we're giving him elite money. We're giving Dak elite money when he's not elite. Why are we overpaying quarterbacks when this year alone you got 4 or 5 quarterbacks that you can make a case going in the top 40? You got some backups that are going to have starting jobs like Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying? Next season. Mariota might be a guy that's willing to, somebody might want to take a flyer on just see if he can do anything outside of Nashville.
Another guy may see it in Chicago.
Absolutely. Now that would be intriguing. I'll say this: I'd take more of a flyer on Mariota than I would Andy Dalton. All right, I'm hearing things. I think it's about the time to go, y'all. I'm hearing ghosts up in this motherfucker.
Man. So they had a release today about a Jets, a cornerback. Tremaine Johnson, do you think he can be a guy, maybe a reclamation project that the Saints bring in?
Physical corner.
Maybe they can bring him in on the cheap after he's been released.
He's a guy to look at. I'll tell you
about the Jets as they look to create more cap space.
You got the Rams,
and Littleton is a free agent.
He was okay. So they're gonna lose Littleton. I think they're gonna lose him out. They're gonna have to. That's why they're trying to move Cooks and Gurley. They have no way signing him if they don't move one of these guys.
Nobody's taking Gurley unless you attach maybe a second round pick.
I don't even know, and that's what I'm saying. You'd have to get a stupid organization to go down that road.
It wouldn't even be a stupid. It'd be a good move if a team has plenty of cap space.
Well, if you got cap space,
somebody.
Yeah, if you got all the cap space, but I think you really
take on a maybe a mid round second round pick for.
I'd stay smooth away from that dude though, for real. But I mean, Gurley was a great player, but his best days are behind him. Remember, Knowles didn't think it would happen, but it did. But nothing's gonna be wrong with that guy. But anyway,
all right.
But Tremaine Johnson, really quick, Tremaine Johnson. Physical corner, did a great job when we saw against Michael Thomas a couple years ago. Remember, he was with the Rams. Mm-hmm. Solid corner. I wouldn't invest high into him, but at the right price, bring him in. Why not? I mean, Janoris Jenkins has to figure out what he's doing with his cap situation because you got to reduce that number.
Then he's good as gone.
Exactly.
And you can't bring him at $10+ million a year.
So to me, I think you still want to bring a corner in. If you can't retain Jenkins, maybe Johnson's a guy you look at. Because I still say draft a Christian Fulton, draft a Trevin Diggs, maybe a Henderson out of Florida.
But if you bring Tremaine Johnson, it gives you more.
Gives you a little more flexibility if there's a certain player that Peyton.
Best player available.
Yeah, if Peyton's got a hard on for a certain player and he doesn't want to have to aim at corner.
Jonathan Taylor's sitting on the board.
Yeah, you got to take Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, you got to take.
He makes a perfect complement, and then you can maybe trade Latavius for maybe a 4th round pick.
You could
get maybe another starter in a deep draft.
And the Saints have done that before.
Receiver.
Saints have done that before. Ricky Williams. I mean, I know this is beyond the Peyton era, but Deuce McAllister came in when Ricky Williams was still here.
Pick, maybe a 3rd round pick if somebody's desperate, but nobody's desperate right now.
But you got to always add. You got to keep adding. You add the best player available. That's been their philosophy.
You keep Latavius coming into camp, and you got flexibility. Somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Somebody blows.
He has value. He's got a reasonable deal. He has value. He has value. All right, man. Well, let's get the fuck out of here.
40 minutes. We got to go.
Yeah, we're going to be back. We'll be back Wednesday, guys, before the Kings-Pelicans game.
Check out the website.
Yeah, man. Check it out.
We have gone to the next level.
We're about to fit.
You know what the show is.
Yep.
We need to put
jerseys are coming back. Jerseys are coming back, too. We're going to have a nice little different lighting. It ain't going to be so bright up in this motherfucker. We're going to have a mood setting up in here. It's going to get real nice for y'all ladies. You know what I mean? It's going to get pretty good. We have Marvin Gaye coming on.
What's it going to do for the ladies?
I don't know what it's going to do for them. Maybe the mood's set. We had to start the next couple shows with some Marvin Gaye or something, man, or some Luther. But I guess we out, huh?
Yeah, Marvin definitely not gay, man. He loves the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Seems to be happening. My phone was going ape shit.
That's a good show.